What's up guys, Kent here with Corsby Gaming. This video is going to be a showcase slash guide on my Raid Shadow Legends Unkillable Clan Boss Team. In this video, I'll cover my champs I use, their speeds, gear, and masteries. I'll also go over the setup, but before all that, please hit the subscribe button so you can catch more videos like this in the future. Alright, so first I'll go over the champs I use, which I have a double man-eater comp, so that's probably the most common unkillable team that is used, but there are other unkillable comps out there. Some of them use like Rashkard the Tower or Sir Nick or other champions, but I have a double man-eater comp. I also have Frozen Banshee as my poisoner, Raz and Scarhide as the decrease defense and weaken, and then Skull Crusher as my counterattack champs. So I will jump over now to go over their speeds. Alright, so here's the first man-eater. His speed is going to be 248, which you can see right there. And then the second man-eater, his speed is going to be 246. So those speeds are very precise. They have to be right on those numbers in order for the turns to work out correctly. The next champion I'm going to show is the Poisoner, which is the Frozen Banshee I have. Her speed is going to be 212. So your third person in this lineup can be 211 to 212 speed. Then the fourth champion is going to be my Raz and Scarhide. His speed is sitting at 210. The fourth champion, their speed can be from 205 to 212. And then the last champion I got is Skull Crusher. So his is the slowest speed at 208. Their speed can be 205 to 212 as well. For these speeds, I didn't come up with them. I got all of my info from Deadwood Jedi's website. He has a speed calculator on there and also all the speeds that you would need for this comp and any other unkillable comp. So shout out to him. Definitely go check out that website. That was a really beneficial tool for me and allowed me to be able to set up this team. So in setting up the speeds for these champions, there's a few really important things that you have to know about. The first one is the masteries, which we'll go over here. So as far as the masteries go, you have to be very particular in which ones you choose. You basically cannot have any that give you a turn meter boost. If you do, it throws out your turns of order and can entirely ruin your unkillable composition. So one that I really recommend doing is the Lore of Steel. This one will make it easier if you have speed gear on your guys to reach the speeds that you need to be, because some of those speeds are pretty high, like 248, 246. Those can be pretty tough speeds to get to unless you have really good gear. So this Lore of Steel makes it a little bit easier, but some of the speed or some of the masteries you really want to stay away from. The Arcane Celerity, that one will mess you up. There's a few other ones in here that you just want to stay away from, all the turn meter boosters. To go along with the turn meter boosting, you also kind of want to stay away from specific champions that have abilities that do turn meter boosting. Some champs, they just will not work with an unkillable comp, or they're very difficult to set it up. All the champs that I use are pretty basic in their moves. They don't mess with your turn meters or boost your speeds at all, so it makes it really easy for me to set up my unkillable team. So as far as equipping gear goes, there's a process that I use to equip the gear. The first thing I look at is the banner. I always try to find a banner with a couple speed rolls. That will help out with reaching the speed that you need. The next thing is just equipping as much speed gear with speed rolls as possible. So like, that one don't have any, but this one has one speed roll, obviously speed boots. This one has 2 speed rolls. This gear has 1 speed roll. So the more speed rolls that you can get, the easier it is to get to that number as far as the speed goes that you're looking for. And then the last thing you'd want to use are runes. Those will definitely help get a little bit faster, but they can also help out with getting that specific number that you're looking for. So if you know you're going for like 248 speed, like you want to be using your lower level runes as opposed to some of your like 6-star or 5-star runes. That way you can be more precise and get that specific number that you're looking for. Alright, so now I'm going to go over the setup for the Unkillable comp. So the first thing to know is that in having an Unkillable team, it'll allow your team to go for 50 turns. So the idea is to get as much damage in as possible in those 50 turns. So you want your guys to have 100% crit rate, and then crit damage. Obviously your poisoners need accuracy. Alright, so there's a specific order that you have to start as far as the moves that you use. That way the buffs are up at the proper timing and your guys don't get killed. So to start off with, we'll go Siphon with the Maneater 1, Siphon with the Maneater 2, and then the other moves don't particularly matter, but obviously we want to use the ones that are going to give us the most damage. So we'll do the other guy's best moves, put up a counterattack. Take a little bit of damage, but that'll probably be the only hit that we take. Alright, and then we'll put up our Unkillable buff there. So the Unkillable also has a block buffs with it, so that's why Maneater comp is so strong. So we'll pass up putting the buff up since it's already up, and we'll just do the A1. And then we'll be A1 for most of these guys. A1 again. A1 again, since that Unkillable buff is still up on a lot of these guys, and you can start to see the Unkillable buffs falling off now. And they are all off, and then the Maneater comes up again and they're all off, and we'll put it back on, and then from here we can do auto, and it will just automatically go through the rest of the setup, the whole 50 turns on automatic, and be set. So this is probably one of the easiest Unkillable comps to set up. Some of the other ones require a lot more in-depth either setup or gearing, but for this one it's pretty easy. Just go through that setup that I just went through and it goes on its own from here on out. And I'll fast forward it for you guys, that way we can just jump to the end and you can see the results. Alrighty guys, so that is my double Maneater Unkillable Clan Boss team. If you are lucky enough to have 2 Maneaters, I would highly recommend doing this setup unless you're already 2-keying or 3-keying Ultra Nightmare. I'll put the speeds in the description as well as a link to Deadwood Jedi's website. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.